Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question here. What are the options available for Raphael Tuju after he resigned as the Secretary General of Jubilee Party? I want to read those comments, his options, before we proceed. And on the same note, Moses Kuria has announced his intention to join Kenya Kwanza Alliance. At the same time, Kireti Murungi is saying that he's yet to decide for his community the person they're likely to support or they will support in 2022. Those are serious political developments in this country. But I want us to go to Raphael Tuju. What do you think are some of his options? Last week during Jubilee NDC, Raphael Tuju announced that he was going to resign as the Secretary General of Jubilee Party. And indeed, Jubilee Party announced or unveiled a new Secretary General, Jeremiah Kioni. The other thing that we should also appreciate is that Raphael Tuju was very loyal to President Uhuru Kenyatta. So when he made this announcement, the president made a passionate appeal to Raila Amolo Odinga to help Tuju get whatever he wants. And the president specifically the president asked Hassan Joho to take care of Raphael Tuju. And from what the president stated, to me, it seems like Raphael Tuju is going to run for either Siaya Parliamentary, for Rarieda Parliamentary by-election, for the Rarieda Parliamentary seat or for the Siaya Gubernatorial seat. Otherwise, President Uhuru Kenyatta would have just requested the Right Honorable to allow Tuju, or he would have identified a constituency, a friendly constituency in Nairobi. But in this case, alisema, nasikia huyu jamaa wangu anatafuta kitu huko. You know, he was in Nairobi and anasema huko, which means Nyanza. So what are Raphael Tuju's options? I don't want to take a lot of your time today. What are his options? For me, if you ask me, Raphael Tuju has 4 options. The first option for me is that Raphael Tuju is likely to go for a parliamentary seat. And the question is, before we look into the parliamentary seat he's likely to run for, why would Raphael Tuju go for a parliamentary seat when he can go for the Senate or when he can go for a governor? Why would Raphael Tuju go for a parliamentary seat? I want you to pay attention because what I'm going to say here is deep. So it requires your understanding. In my view, Raphael Tuju is going for a parliamentary seat for 2 reasons. The first reason is to serve President Uhuru Kenyatta's interest. What do I mean? Raphael Tuju was a loyal soldier of President Uhuru Kenyatta. The president had total faith in Raphael Tuju, even today. Tuju cannot betray President Uhuru Kenyatta. He even stated that. And I doubt the president can betray him. As a matter of fact, when the government was formed after the last general election, William Ruto refused to accept Tuju as a full minister. So the president made him a cabinet minister, but without portfolio. There's people, I'm seeing people saying Raphael Tuju has not resigned. Raphael Tuju resigned earlier, much earlier, as a cabinet secretary. So, what's President Uhuru Kenyatta's interest? The truth of the matter is that President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga are still keen on BBI. Uhuru Kenyatta is keen on becoming, let me just be very plain and straight to the point. Uhuru Kenyatta is keen, very keen, on becoming the next Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. How will he achieve this? Either through parliament or through revival of BBI. So after the election, assuming Tuju is elected as a member of parliament for Rarieda or even a member of parliament for Langata, Tuju is going to become the majority leader at the National Assembly. And that's how he's going to serve President Uhuru Kenyatta's interest. At the National Assembly, once he's elected as the majority leader, and just study President Uhuru Kenyatta, how many political parties have signed a deal with the president? So many of them. So So which means these parties will be sponsoring candidates in their strongholds. Kingi, Malindi, Wamalwa in Western Kenya. In Kisii, he has some political parties there. In Central Kenya, is going to manage with the support of ODM. So Uhuru Kenyatta believes that after the elections, and I'm sure, probably they've discussed with Raila Odinga that the majority leader is going to be from his party. That is where Tuju is going to be. So it means when Tuju is going to be the majority leader, then any parliamentary initiative the president would want, Tuju will be able to execute. So Tuju will be able to execute. So if there's changes to BBI, Tuju will be able to move those changes through parliament. So that's the first, in my view, that's the first thing. The second thing why he's interested in parliament is cabinet. Raphael Tuju has played a key role for Raila and for Uhuru. As a matter of fact, when he was interviewed on JKL, Raphael Tuju stated that he's working as part of Raila Odinga's think tank. And he's not making noise about it. So, so if Raila Odinga is going to form his cabinet, Raphael Tuju is going to be one of the cabinet ministers. Because they believe that Uhuru and Raila strongly believe that BBI is still going to pass. And that half of the cabinet will come from parliament. So Tuju will be a cabinet secretary from parliament. So the first step for him to be appointed as a cabinet secretary from parliament is that he must contest. Otherwise, after the accident, there was nothing which stops Uhuru from just nominating Tuju. Because I'm sure Tuju can easily get that disability certificate after the accident, Then he's nominated to parliament. But I think they don't want to take any risk. Have him elected, then he will come from parliament as a cabinet secretary. Now wachano wasendio. So parliamentary seat. And which parliamentary seat can he go for? Let us look at Rarieda. The member of parliament for Rarieda as we speak is Otienda Molo. So it will be an interesting contest between Otienda Molo, one of the top lawyers, and Raphael Tuju. Raphael Tuju left a mark in Rarieda. So if Raphael Tuju were to contest against Otienda Molo ODM, Raphael Tuju Jubilee, both of them are in Azimio, that's going to be a very interesting contest. The other option he has is to go to Langata. Langata, Tuju said on JKL that he stayed in Langata for 36 years. That's where his home is. Karen is a part of Langata. That's where his businesses are, Langata. ODM does not have a candidate, does not have a member of parliament in Langata. Jubilee does not have a member of parliament in Langata. URP has. So you can go for Langata. In ODM, my friend Felix Oduor Jalango is the front runner. And I believe the entry of Raphael Tuju, if he were to go to Langata, is going to complicate the equation for him. Because Raphael Tuju does not need any introduction anywhere. He will just go as Raphael Tuju. Or is there any chance that there's another parliamentary seat he can go for? Let me read your comments up there, what you posted. But for me, I tend to think that Tuju is likely to go for a parliamentary seat. Second option is gubernatorial seats. Whoa. Where do you think Raphael Tuju can run as a governor? Siaya? Yes. But I'm also telling you, Raphael Tuju can run as a governor for Nairobi. And if he were to run for Nairobi, he will easily win. Why? Because he has the president backing. So it means Jubilee can be easily told, support Tuju. President will whip his people to support Tuju. Then what will happen? Tuju is a Luo. So the ODM brigades, based on the fact that he's been playing for Raila, can easily also support him. So Uhuru Kenyatta will end up having a Jubilee governor in Nairobi, who is his friend, and Raila Odinga will also be comfortable with Raphael Tuju as the governor of Nairobi. Alternatively, can decide and run in Siaya. Which means if you were to go to Siaya, he's going to face 3 gentlemen. He's going to face James Orengo, Nicholas Gumbo, and a good friend of mine, Charles Owino. Those 3 gentlemen, all of them are thorough. Gumbo has a name, has tried. Orengo, no introduction. Owino currently is doing one of the most organized campaigns in Siaya without making noise. So Tuju will be the 4th guy. So it will be a very interesting contest again in Siaya. Can he win on a Jubilee ticket? Because he can say, let me wait for Orengo, let me wait for Gumbo, and let me wait for whoever will be nominated, so we compete. So let voters decide. Whoa, very interesting. Alternatively, number 3, he can decide to go and run for the Siaya Senate or even Nairobi. In Nairobi, if you were to contest as a senator, in Siaya, who is he going to face? The only candidate in Siaya so far are 2. There is Yogo mwenyewe, a young guy giving Oburu sleepless nights in Siaya, and the second guy there is Oburu Odinga. If you were to join that, it means Otiende will be safe, Orengo will be safe. Those guys will easily embrace Otienda Molo to their camp to deal with Gumbo. Because I'm sure in Siaya, Orengo is likely to run as a ODM candidate, Gumbo is likely to run as MDG candidate. So very interesting development down there. Or do you think there's any other options? So, in my considered opinion, those are the only available options for Raphael Tuju. And Raphael Tuju and Raila Odinga relationship and Uhuru Kenyatta's relationship confirms 2 things. The first thing is that loyalty is rewarded. Raphael Tuju has been very loyal to President Uhuru Kenyatta. So the president is rewarding him by pushing Raila Odinga to have him somewhere. Raphael Tuju's relationship with Raila Odinga also confirms one thing, that politics is all about interest. Who knew these guys will work together? But Raphael Tuju is facing challenges. He has a track record. He has played a role for Raila and Uhuru, which is known. Raphael Tuju, during this small campaign we are seeing here, during registration of voters, Raphael Tuju is the only leader from Nyanza who traversed the entire 6 counties of Nyanza, asking people to vote. Actually, he was using a chopper. Only him. But he has certain challenges. The first challenge is the party, Jubilee. There are certain ODM supporters who will not be comfortable voting for Jubilee. So that's the first challenge. If his bid will be pegged on the party. Number 2, his past Raila Odinga politics. How have they related? Has Raila Odinga forgiven him? Have they really forgiven each other? Of course, politics is just like that. Number 3 is loyalty. If Raphael Tuju becomes a member of Parliament for Langata or the governor for Siaya, where will his loyalty be? President Uhuru Kenyatta or Raila Odinga? Those are some of the issues he will have to deal with. Otherwise, I want to take this opportunity to wish Raphael Tuju good luck. He's a guy who would be interested in making a comeback to politics. As someone who comes from Luo, Raphael Tuju has a name. Post Raila Amolo Odinga. Post Raila Odinga. If he'll be elected a member of parliament, a senator, or a governor, post Raila Amolo Odinga, Raphael Tuju is the man to watch. Thank you, guys.